Chapter 17. We headed out onto the sidewalk that runs along the marina. For the first 50 yards or so, neither of us spoke. Okay, I said at last, what do I have to do to earn this easy money? He stopped and leaned against the railing. That's the beautiful part, kid. You just keep doing what you already do. Run. I'll pay you $200 a week to run. Come on, I said. There's more to it than that. He bobbed his fat head back and forth. Okay, maybe there's a little more to it, but not much. Starting tomorrow, when you run, you'll be wearing a backpack. A backpack? He shrugged. You'll get used to it. People run with stuff all the time. Nobody will notice. You can stick a Walkman in it if you want, or a bottle of water. Do whatever you want. I don't care, just so long as you wear it. So where do I run, and what's the backpack for? The same route you always run. Out to the locks, over to Magnolia, along the marina, through the Golden Gardens Park, and then on to the beach. Have you been watching me? His eyes narrowed. You bet I've been watching you, and I'll be watching you. This is business, kid. He stopped. An old couple was approaching, holding hands. Everything about them seemed relaxed, easy. The fat guy nodded to them. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, the old man answered. We watched them make their way leisurely down the sidewalk. You still haven't told me what I need the backpack for, I said when they were out of earshot. You know that tree that looks like it's growing out of the boulders, the big maple? He was talking about my mother's tree. Sure. The train tracks are right above there. It's where I turn around. From now on, when you reach that tree, you'll stop and stretch, do some push-ups or something. While you're doing whatever it is you do, you'll be looking hard into the nooks and crannies of the boulders around that tree. What'll I find? Most days, nothing, but some days there will be a package. When there is, you slip the package into your backpack, then you run back along the beach just like you normally would. You go down to your boat and get a change of clothes just like you always do. Then you come back up to the utility room at the end of the pier for a shower, same as usual. Before you shower, you stick the backpack in the locker. After you shower, you change into your clean clothes, stuff the dirty clothes into the backpack, but leave the package in the locker. Then what happens? Then you do the same thing the next day. What happens to the package? What's in them? Where do I go? Where do they go? He shook his head. Bad questions. You don't know, and I don't want to find out. Understand? This isn't drugs. This is drugs, isn't it? It's a smuggling operation. Didn't you hear me? You don't know, and you don't want to know. All you need to know is what I've told you. I'm not getting involved in drugs, I said. You're the one saying drugs and smuggling. All I'm talking about is running on the beach and picking up packages. I'm not doing it, I said. You're going to lose your boat. You know that, don't you? I didn't answer. He shook his head and smiled. You're a pain in the butt, kid. A real pain in the butt. I'm throwing you and your old man a life preserver, and you won't grab hold. But I'm a patient man, so here's what I'll do for you. You think over my offer this weekend. On Monday, you'll find a gray backpack in your locker. If you wear that backpack when you run, I'll know you want the job. If you don't wear it, I'll find somebody who knows a good deal when he sees one. How are you going to get in my locker? I said. You don't know my combination. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a chain filled with keys. Don't forget, I work here. I've got keys to everything. Then he smiled, turned on his heels, and walked away. Once I was back on the tiny dancer, I took the $100 bill out and held it up to the light. I don't know why. It's not as if I could recognize a counterfeit bill anyway. Then I laid it on the table and stared at it. If you live on the waterfront long enough, you know illegal stuff goes on. You don't see it necessarily, but you feel it. People that don't look quite right, boats that don't look quite right. The Coast Guard and the port police aren't there for the fun of it. Twice in the last year, I'd seen guys get arrested at the marina. The fat man knew more than he was letting on, that was for sure. If the whole thing were as easy as he said it was, he wouldn't pay me for doing it. He'd take a stroll down the beach after work, pick up the packages himself. There was no future in what he was proposing, but I wasn't worried about the future. I was worried about next month. I picked up the bill and held it to the light again.